Good morning. The fourth day of the long trek. As you can see, we've woken up here right next to the river. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's a church up there, lovely houses, sun's just cracking over the mountain there. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a wild camping spot in Helmsdale. Absolutely lovely. Well, after a bit of Googling last night, we found actually there's a garage just over the way there. Now, I don't know what time they open, but since it's only 10 miles to Bora, I figured it's 6 o'clock now, get some porridge and stuff, maybe even chill out just up on the top there, wait till they open and see if we can get some planks of wood or something on the bottom of this tyre to help it out. I think if we try and do it here and get to Bora still relatively early today, have a good wash, get sorted out, and carry on from there is my plan. So rather than making all the way to Bora, try and do it this afternoon, I'm going to try and do it the other way and see how we get on. That's the plan. Fingers crossed that will work. Yeah, absolutely awesome. Do end up standing in the oddest of places. It's about 20 to 8 and I'm standing outside the garage up in Helmersdale. Fingers crossed the guy that runs it will be here shortly. Sounds chatting to a few locals. He might have been out on the lash last night, so he's a little later than usual. But fingers crossed, he will come. I can see a bit of wood, so hopefully I can get some of that and give this a try. But I'll give him till 8ish. After that, I've really got to start getting on the road to get to Bora. Otherwise, I'm going to miss the chance of looking at the garages there. So I'll give him another 20 minutes or so, and fingers crossed. But yeah, you stand in the oddest of places. Well, this is our situation. Straight through, as you can see. Worn out already, gone. I'm going to have to drag it all the way to Bora because I've got nothing else I can do with it. The garage at Helmersdale wasn't great this morning, I'm not going to lie. Basically, there was no help whatsoever. He was not having any of it. As mentioned there, the guy at the garage is really bad this morning. He just wouldn't help at all. Bit unfortunate because everybody else up in Scotland have been absolutely amazing. But what he did, I did actually before he arrived, he had a big pile of wood on the floor. So I tried a few decent bits of wood out of these. There was decent ply there actually, but sadly that acted like a skate. I put it underneath and tried it out. It was just like a tray. The tyre was everywhere, dragged it a little bit up and down the road. It's just too dangerous to drag on the road. The tyre will be all over the place. And obviously only needs to slide a little bit out and catch a car and things go very badly wrong very quickly. So that's not going to happen. So wood, I'm afraid, doesn't look like the option. I then tried later on down at Bora, there's an old sign, an old road sign on the floor. So I borrowed that, stuck that under the tyre, tried that, and again, basically, looks like the tray as well. So it looks like metal and wood are just too slippy. I know somebody said try and load it, basically put a lot more load on top of it, but the trouble, my concern there is because it's slippy, if it's got a load on top of the tyre, when it starts to move, it's really going to move and I'm not going to be able to stop it. So I don't know at the moment. Neither of the solutions I wanted look like they're going to work. I don't know. I'm going to have to make some decisions. Let's get to Bora anyway. Let's get a wash and then I'm going to have to make some decisions. That's what happens in an expedition. That's what happens in your goals, folks. This is all about getting to your goals. It doesn't always go to plan. You've got to know that if it doesn't work, you've got to do something different. What that different is yet, I don't know. But I'll have to decide. I've got a good 2 or 3 hours ahead. Well, 3 hours ahead of me to start thinking about what to do now. But I will think of something, and hopefully tonight I'll come back to you as to what my plan B is, because plan A ain't working out. But hey, no one's ever done it, so didn't know if it'd work out myself. But in the heat, it doesn't work. So if anything, do this during the winter. Anyway, catch you shortly. Let's get myself to Bora. Checking the tyre again. Yeah, straight through. It's just not lasting at all. Sadly, that's terminal, guys. I've made a decision on the last 7.5 miles. It's terminal on the tyre. There is no point every 16 miles having to change the tyre every single time. That will be just loopy. So the only decision really now is what do I do? Do we ditch the tyre and carry on? Don't know really. The whole idea of this was for the South Pole, practice for the South Pole, pulling the tyres, ditching that. I won't be able to do that on the South Pole, so I'm not sure any gain in carrying on all the way to John O'Groats for not what this is about. So I don't know. I think what I'll do is get a shower and pop down the shop, get a can of Coke and stuff like that, get some milk, and make a decision. But sadly, hasn't got a plan. Not everything does in life. Question is, what do I do? I'm sitting in Bora, which is a beautiful place. Yeah. Anyway, let me think about this, and we'll come back to you. Just been on the beach for a couple of hours to clear my thoughts, and well, the answer is very simple, I think. The main reason for doing this challenge was to simulate getting to the South Pole. That's the whole idea of it. Secondary was to raise money for Black Dog Outdoors, which is exceptionally important. The first one, obviously, with the tyre failing as it is, it's ridiculous. There's no physical way I can change it every morning, especially as I'm getting to more and more of the outbacks of Scotland. Now there's no physical way I can get this changed every morning. And also, it eats up in the amount of hours I can do in a day, because if I've got to change the tyre, I'm not on the road till 10 o'clock, can't go as far, you name it. It's not doing what I want it to do. Second to that, Black Dog Outdoors. Now I'm going to take Black Dog Outdoors to the South Pole with me, so we're still going to raise a vast amount of money for these guys. So it may be postponed on the amount we raise and how quickly, but it will definitely be a decent amount by the time we get to the South Pole. Now I know a lot of people are watching these videos and may think, well, wow, what happened there? But you've got to remember in life, goals are hard to do, especially, for example, this one. No one's ever dragged a tyre from John O'Groats to Land End. I was going to be a world first to do this. So you've got to put yourself out there. And if you don't achieve that goal, it doesn't mean you've failed. It means you've learned something. And that's a very important lesson in life. I thought this was probably a really good step in getting to the South Pole, but sadly it hasn't worked. But that means I get back home, I think about it and restart again to get to the South Pole when I do. I will get to the South Pole, don't get me wrong. Sadly, it won't be by the route that I was planning this time, but that doesn't mean I won't get there. So for those people out there that are looking at their goals, it's very, very important. You will fail every now and again. Things do not go to plan. But remember, every time you fail, you're one step closer to the goal than you were. Seriously, remember that. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to the goal than you were. So anyway, that's it, folks. I'll sign off now. And I wish you all well. I hope you have enjoyed this 4 days of the long tread rather than the 40 days of the long tread. But as I say, I am presently in a tent in Brora. I've got to get some transport sorted out to get south now, and get home and then get myself sorted and reevaluate what's going on. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all guys soon. Take care. Bye.